Hello and welcome. My name is Joe and I am the Panicked Monk. And you are watching Lost in Time, a Dwemer's Tale. Picking up where we last left off, we've just recovered the final piece of the shard, but we'll not be going to the forge as discussed earlier, since the reason we are going to go to the forge in the first place is to forge an item that will allow Szenac to strengthen his innate Dwemer abilities to control the automatons. And since that item requires the use of a potion or a recipe that his mother is going to help him with, which requires Crimson Nirnroot. There's no reason to go there to the forge quite yet, since Szenac has not gotten any of that Crimson Nirnroot and does not know how to quite access Blackreach as of yet. So he is going to be following up on this experiment for Arneal Gain, and that is going to lead him at the moment to look for some Dwemer cogs. Arneal needs them to discover or research their properties, I guess. He hasn't really stated exactly what he needs, but since Deepful Crossing did not yield any kind of a structure that we could go look for any, our next and closest bet is to look here at Bethardamps. Szenac is kind of aware of these locations, though he hasn't been to them personally while the Dwemer still existed and ruled these areas, but he does know of them. Fortunately, Bethardamps was very close by to Nchuand-Zel or Deepful Crossing, so it seemed to make some logical sense to just check this out and try to discover some areas that might contain some of these Dwemer cogs that he could bring back to Arneal. Now, it is possible that he could forge some Dwemer cogs if he had the equipment that he needed. It would take more than just having the forge. He would need the molds and just more specifications on the cogs design than he has at the moment. So he'd need schematics, he'd need molds, he'd need the metal, of course. So since he doesn't have that, he's going to have to do it the hard way and see if he can find some, either through automatons that have been disabled, or maybe even those that he defeats, or if he's lucky, just kind of lying around in areas that they may have been used to manufacture a variety of things.
What's this? Doesn't even hardly scratch the surface. I'd be here for days, if not longer. And then, if I could cut through them, there's no saying that the door's not barred from the inside somehow. Oh, I know what that's for. I think we'll leave that switch alone. Maybe there's something above. Strange that no one is here. Although if if there's no means to enter, I guess the outer structure here offers little sanctuary. Oh, what's this? Oh, hello. What are you doing out here? Huh. No matter. Aha. Maybe this is a way in. Let's check up here first. I don't feel like exposing my flank to higher ground if something were to be up here. No, nothing. No, just an overlook. That's where it came from. This is not looking good. I don't have a very good feeling about this place. Before I go any further, come on, Atronach. Let's back me up, will you? Alright, let's check out this door. Ah, what miserable weather. Cannot wait to get out of this rain. Ah, damn it. It's held fast. Well. This has proven to be a dead end. Although, you know what, Atronach? If I follow the mountains south, I believe Nchuand-Zel is nearby. Well, maybe not nearby, but it's the closest large city. Certainly there would be something there. I wonder what kind of condition it's in. It's quite large if I recall. Not even Enodark had gone there though. Yes. That's what we're going to have to do, although I'll never find a clear path through the mountains here. I need to get back to the main road. I think there were some turns that I could have taken earlier that would put me in the right direction of Nchuand-Zel. Ah, this weather. What was that? What was that? I think you're hearing things, Szenac. Let's backtrack and find the trail again. Well, the road, rather. Oh, the mountains play havoc with the weather, do they not? Nchuand-Zel. Quite a large city if I recall. One of the largest for sure, built above ground, or at least to have an above ground front. I look forward to seeing it. I've heard a lot of interesting things. It was quite a marvel to behold. Carved right into the side of the mountain. I know Enodoc always wanted to go there, but for some reason, just business never took him that way. Hold on, what was that? Oh boy. What did we find here? Alright, I see you. Aha, gotcha. Oh, there's another. Ah. Alright, Atronach, I'm gonna go in and give you some help. Come on, come on. Gotcha. Come on. Ah. And done. Why? Look like some sort of bandit almost. A few items that were worth use. I'll take them. Leave your bones for the animals. I'm sure there's a scavenger or two in the mountains that would be happy to feast on your remains. My new medium, Szenac, listen to you talk. Ah. What is this world doing to your mind? What is that? What is this? Well, it's not Dwemer, that's for sure. Almost looks like what is it? Nordic? The Nords would be Nordic, I guess. That makes sense. Oh, I remember you. Alright, we need to... What is that across this stream, river? It's a dwelling. Is that... No. No. Thought that might be the house that I was attacked at by these Reachmen. But I don't think so. I'm awfully turned around. Just gotta keep following the mountains. Follow the mountains. But first I need to find that road. I've gotten myself so off course. I certainly don't know if I can make it up there. Maybe I can. Yes, I bet I can. I'll follow this goat. Steep, but I can make it. this is curious. What were you part of, I wonder? Oh, wait. A stairwell. That's promising. See if we can get a little higher and get a better look. Aha! I think, yes, there it is. There's the road. Excellent. Come on, Nchuand-Zel. We found the road. Oh, what is this? It's like a little village. Perhaps I can find a place to rest. It's getting late.
I want your sellswords out of my mind.
Watch your tongue, native. We'll leave when we're sure there's no Forsworn here.
Oh, and when would that be, I wonder? When I sell my land to the Silverbloods?
The Silverbloods have made you a very generous offer for this pile of dirt. I suggest you take it.
Well, as you can see, Szenac has discovered Karthwasten,
Please stay away while you got that smell.
and apparently they do not like the Atronach following me around, but that is just going to be too bad for them. Gonna look around a little bit. This is way too small. There's really no place to stay here, so Szenac really is not interested in anything that little, just almost like a little mining community it looks like, that really doesn't seem to have much to offer. So back towards Nchuand-Zel we go. Now, he recognizes a few of these, and that sign confirms that we just came from Karthwasten, so Szenac now knows where that is. He's definitely familiar with Winterhold. Whiterun he knows of. He knows probably of a lot of these towns and cities. Maybe not intimately and exactly where they are, but he's heard of a few of them, and has passed through a few as well, so he's going to continue down, following the road, backtracking a bit, as we heard earlier, following the mountains, kind of south from where he was at Bethardamps. He knows that Markarth, which he knows as Nchuand-Zel, is down in this area. So it's the closest Dwemer structure, the closest Dwemer city that he's aware of. So that's where he's heading to see if he can get these Dwemer cogs and find out more about Arnilgain's experiments and exactly why he needs cogs. But even if Szenac told him about the properties of these cogs and the metal and all that stuff, I mean, that he could do. He could definitely tell them all about it. But if, you know, when you're doing research and scientific experiments, you actually need the stuff. You need to be able to measure it. So even having someone tell you about it, it's not enough if you're going to use the properties and the measurements and the ratios and all that stuff. So Arnil would still need the physical cogs so he could perform his research and take measurements of everything that he needed. Unfortunately, Szenac does not have all the materials and things he would need to actually manufacture them. That would definitely save him a lot of time and a lot of headache, but just not the way it's going to go down. So Bethardamps was a bust. hopefully Nchuand-Zel will not be. Now again, he knows of Nchuand-Zel. He knows that it was a big city, that it was a fairly interesting city and had a lot of life and vibrance going on. It just was nowhere that he had ever been to, and it wasn't an area or a city that anything Enodoc had done or was doing brought him to that city. He probably had contacts, Enodoc that is, within Nchuand-Zel. He probably had people that he worked with insofar as communicated and would exchange ideas through messengers and products and stuff like that, but he had actually never been there, so. And actually, it looks like that hut we saw across is actually the hut we thought it was, so. We're not sure if it's abandoned, so Szenac is going to give a quick knock. No one's answering. So he is going to pretty much break his way in. It's getting really late, it's getting really dark, and he's hoping to find some shelter for the night. So he's going to risk going into this house.
Oh, the upstairs looks abandoned. And yet, downstairs, it seems that there were, well, people here not too long ago. Could it have been those Reachmen that we defeated earlier? Possibly. Well, we'll have to risk it.
Alright, well, we've stayed the night. We got up early. No one came in to tell us to leave. Nicely or otherwise, so we will chalk up our win and head towards Markarth.
Need something?
Not at the moment, thank you. What a beautiful area. Ah, look. Signs of life, that is promising. That old mill up there. No, not old. Still functioning. Ah, one of the outbuildings. It's in excellent condition, actually. Walls? They're using it as a farmhouse? Interesting. Another small crop of buildings. Look. It's the outer gates. Nchuand-Zel. I know my people are gone. I know the Dwemer are no more, but... look at the condition. Someone's keeping it up. This is inhabited. It's being used. It's gorgeous. Look at it. Oh, it's breathtaking in the light. Oh, let's see the view. I must see the view. Oh, look at the eastern sky. It's gorgeous. Oh, Master. If only you could see what I am seeing right now. It's amazing. It's almost completely intact. Whoever now lives here, they maintained it at least. Well, the facade, if nothing else. The Nord structures are impressive in their own right, but they have nothing on Dwemer. Excuse me.
Traveling in the Reach is dangerous. You need a good
Tell me,
carry.
where do you go?
Where do you want to go?
Oh, Starfall Crease? Oh, you go many places. Winterhold? Good to know. Whiterun? Excellent. Well,
That's fine.
tell me, what do you know of this place?
It's an old city. Legends say dwarves built it first. Then after they vanished, the natives moved in. Finally, the Nords took over around Tiber Septim's time. That bent a few folks' arms the wrong way. They just called themselves the people of the Reach. A lot of common blood with the Bretons by the looks of them. Used to have their own kingdom till the Nords came. Now they're at the bottom of the hay pile. That's right. Whole group of the natives called the Forsworn rose up against the Nords. Drove them out. Then Ulfric Stormcloak came with his militia. That must have been a sight to see him shouting folks to death. You'd think that'd be the end of it, but those Forsworn are still in the hills, and they're as wild as wolves.
Oh, that makes sense. They are called Forsworn.
Until next time.
And that will bring us to the end of this episode. Thank you for stopping by, and as always, safe journeys.